If you ever come to Japan, you don't want to be known as the foreigner who was blasting their music on the train. You don't want to be known as the foreigner who was doing pull-ups on the Torii Gate. No, what you want to be known for is a polite and respectful human being that respects the Japanese culture. That's why today we're going to be going over rules that you need to follow whenever you come to Japan. The first thing you need to know is that in Japan, they apologize for everything. Literally anything that you do, you should be apologizing for. If you step on somebody's shoe, you should say, "Sumimasen." If you look at somebody the wrong way, you should say, "Sumimasen." If you do literally anything to anybody that might inconvenience them in the slightest, you should say, "Sumimasen," and give them a little bow. That's how you say sorry. "Sumimasen, sumimasen, sumimasen." It's not weird, it's polite. You should be saying this in every situation. So the next thing you need to be aware of is anytime you buy anything, whether it be one of these delicious vending machine drinks or something from the konbini over there, that means Japanese convenience store, then you have to be fully aware that anything you buy, you will have to carry the trash around with you the entire day, or at least until you find a trash can. So whenever I buy something from a vending machine, if you come around to the back here with me, I will always look for these. These are trash cans, specifically for cans. So I will always look for this because I don't want to carry a can around with me all day. They don't just have trash cans laying around everywhere in Japan. The only time you'll find trash cans are for things like bottles or cans. You won't just find a normal trash can around. So what I always do is I have a bag, and any trash I have, I just put the trash inside of the bag. Remember that, because that will save you hours of walking around carrying a bottle in your hands. You don't want to do that. That's not how you want your Japan trip to be. I've been there, I've done that.
So next rule is that in Japan, we vow for everything. When you say good morning,
Ohayo gozaimasu.
vow. When you leave restaurant,
Thank you for the food.
vow. When you meet someone,
Hajimemashite.
vow. When you do anything, vow.
And the deeper you bow, the more polite it is. The next rule you need to know is not to criticize anything, literally anything. Let's say you just ate a dish of food and it literally made you want to vomit. Well, that sucks because the only words that are allowed to come out of your mouth were, that was delicious. In fact, no, that wasn't just delicious. That was the best dish I had in my entire life. Anything you taste, do, or see, it was fantastic. It was amazing, even if you didn't like it. That was delicious. Oh, so good. I love it. The best drink I've ever drank. So good. So when you come to Japan, chances are you're probably at some point going to reach a shrine or find a shrine. They're literally tucked away every hidden corner all around Japan. So I'm going to go over 3 things you should do whenever you enter a shrine. So whenever you finally do make it over to a Japanese shrine, you're going to be greeted with one of these giant torii gates, or it might be a small torii gate. It doesn't necessarily have to be this big, but the first rule, the first thing you have to do is bow before you enter the shrine. This is a respect to the gods. So walk up, give it a bow, and then you're free to enter. Now, when we come in here, we can see that there's this giant cone. Most shrines won't have this, but this is saying don't walk down the center path. This is rule number 2. You don't walk down the center path. You actually walk off to the side, and that's because the gods are known to walk down the middle. The gods just pushed me. But the gods are known to just walk down the middle of the shrine. So if you walk down the middle of the shrine, that's kind of disrespectful to the gods. Don't do that. Another thing you should know is that when you're at a Japanese shrine, you should be very quiet and respectful of everyone around you. We're kind of at a touristy area, so it's loud here, but whenever you're at a shrine, you should try your best to stay quiet. Something else I shouldn't have to tell you, but don't drink the alcohol that's left out on the shrines. Just don't do that. That's a really bad idea. So there's one final thing you need to know whenever you're leaving a Japanese shrine, and that's, well, first, don't trip over the stairs coming out. But once you step outside of the shrine, you will bow to the gods in a sign of respect. So in Japan, there's all kinds of rules when it comes to eating. I guess you could say etiquettes. A lot of them have to do with chopsticks. Funny enough, these little sticks that you use to eat food with. The first one is don't stab anything with your chopsticks. That can be seen as very rude. Another rule is never pass from one chopstick to another. Don't point your chopsticks at anybody or anything. But then there's a couple other rules that don't involve chopsticks. Like when you eat soup or rice, you should hold the bowl. And then another rule when it comes to eating is that you never take the last piece of food. If there's a tray of food and you're out with other people and there's one piece of food left, you don't take it. You have to ask everybody around you if they want it. And the only thing that they can say is no, because it's impolite to say anything other than no, I don't want the piece of food. Another thing you should do before you eat is say itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
Or before you drink with other people, do a kanpai. And once you're done eating, say gochisousama deshita.
Gochisousama deshita.
Also, when you need to get a waiter's attention, you scream, sumimasen. Hi. Hi. No, mizu onegaishimasu. And yeah, it's gonna feel really weird the first time you do that. In fact, it still feels weird for me.
Another rule, you can never leave rice. You gotta eat every single grain of rice.
Now, when you come to Japan, you're gonna find a lot of escalators, and there are rules to these escalators, and it's a little complicated. So if you follow me, I'll explain along the way. Just come on up this precious little escalator with me. So in Osaka, you stand on the right side, and in Tokyo, you stand on the left side, and in Kyoto, it's kind of mix and match. You can stand on either side, just kind of read the room, see which side other people are standing on, and then you can figure out which side you want to stand on. The reason we do this is because we want to make one line of people who just want to stand there, and then the other line can be perfect for people who just want to run up and they're in a rush, like they're trying to go really fast to get to wherever they're going. Maybe they're late for a train. You just need to be polite and stand on the correct side so people who are in a rush aren't missing their train or being late to work or anything like that. So chances are, if you ever come to Japan, that 100% of the time you're going to be taking trains all around the city. And I have a few rules that you need to know and completely understand if you plan to come here and visit, because the trains have a lot of rules. So many rules, in fact, that it's easier if I just read them off to you. Rule number 1, no talking, recording, playing music videos, or being loud on the train. That basically means don't talk, be quiet. I don't care if there's other people talking on the train, you need to be quiet, you need to be respectful of the Japanese people. Rule number 2, do not cross your legs on the train. If you cross your legs on the train, then you're taking up space that other people could be using, and these trains can get very busy a lot of the time. Rule number 3, do not take priority seats. Now the priority seats are for elderly people or disabled people. You don't want to take these. They're colored a little differently and there's only a few of them on each train. Rule number 4, do not get on a women's only train. Don't make this mistake. So when it comes to Japanese trains, sometimes there's a couple sections dedicated to only women. Just look for the signs, don't get in a women's only train. And the last rule I have for you is when entering the train, wait on the side, wait for everybody to get off the train before you actually get on the train. And if you can follow all those rules, then you will be polite and respectful in Japan. So it doesn't matter how late it is, it doesn't matter how many cars are on the street, there could be 0 cars, there could be 0 people in the entire world, it could be a zombie apocalypse wasteland. But there's one rule that Japanese people will always follow no matter what, and that's when this light is red, they will never cross over an intersection, no matter how short it is. And this one here is like 4 steps, but I've seen ones that are like 2 steps or even 1 step where you can get over them really easily. And you might think to yourself, oh, that's just basic laws and rules that any city would follow. But in America, if this was 2 steps wide, or in this situation 4 steps, we would not follow that. We would just cross when there's no other cars on the street. So this wasn't part of the video, but behind me, they're doing some crazy festival matsuri stuff. So I'm just gonna throw this in here. Hajimemashite. 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 Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Hajimemashite.